Hi, good evening, everyone. Let's quickly do a wrap of the market, how it panned out today. That's the 13th of December 2018. We have the daily bar chart of Nifty Future in front of you, and what do we have is a sharp bounce back from Tuesday's low of 10,350. In fact, in our yesterday's market analysis, we were discussing the fact that 10,800, 820 zone, and for that I had taken you to the intraday chart. So this is the 75-minute chart, and if you recall, this was the 4-bar lows which we were mentioning in our yesterday's market wrap. The fact is, yes, the market took its own sweet time most of today's trade to stay within that range, broke out. This was the breakout bar, which ended at 215, and then it sharply slipped down. A better idea, better clarity of this move you will see if we quickly look at the 15-minute bars, and we can see that this was the breakout that was happening at the high of the day, which led to a straight 1 hour sell-off towards the later half of the day's trade. Now, going back to the 75-minute chart, I would like to bring your attention to a setup which we call the breakout trap. The breakout trap essentially is specially for those who trade breakouts, and I share this setup in our in my own advanced mentorship program. If you want to know more about it, I'll leave a link at the description box. You can check the details about the mentorship program. However, coming back to the breakout trap is when we have these clear-cut breakouts, and we know that breakouts can lead to amazing traps, and they do. One thing you should be very clear of is keep where was the immediate supports. Now I can see that 10,800 was the immediate support and is also a psychological round figure of 10,800. Yes, 10,800 was breached and it bounced back and it's closed around 10,870. Remember yesterday we were talking about 10,800, 820 zone. So we have closed exactly there. Now for tomorrow or the rest of the next 2-3 days, we've got some clear cut levels for the Nifty future. Let's talk about the one on the downside. The last bar's low, which is close to that 10,777. Okay, I would rather use 10,800. If it slips further again below 10,800, there's a high chance that this low of 10,777 is going to get breached and you can see further downsides. High probability. On the other hand, the sell-off came or the highs of 10,882, so it's coming close to that 10,880, 10,900 mark, that this is going to act as an important level on the upside. So we have 10,900 and 10,800 on the downside. If it slips below 800, there's a possibility of 100 point on the downside. And if it takes out that 900 mark, you have further moves on the upside. Considering the daily chart over here, the way it shaped up, considering the fact that we looked into the sectors and the stocks that we were that have participated in this game, are not that of great quality so far. So let's keep a close watch on if the market slips below the 10,800 mark tomorrow or maybe early next week. We always do take a look at the market pullers and draggers. Let's do that. Let's look at the ones which contributed on the positive side. We've got a good move from Kotak Bank. Now, big move on the upside. Next day gave off. Now it's essentially managing to bounce back. Good sign. I think the daily chart is much better than that of the weekly. I think we will wait for the range expansion to slow down, but nevertheless, the trend is fine. The momentum is fine. I think we should continue our bias on the upside. Infosys, beautiful breakout in today's trade, close to 2.5%. I think this move is likely to stay. And again, because I spoke about breakout failures, keep a close watch at the level of around close to 670 if you're long on Infosys at the daily chart. If you've done a positional trade on the future market looking at the daily chart, 670 for you Infosys would be a very important level to watch for. Larsen & Toubro is essentially giving a turn on a dime. It's essentially bouncing back and it's like a V recovery. I have been repetitive in my videos that Larsen & Toubro and ICICI Bank long-term charts are exceptionally good, and I can continue to have a very positive bias on them from a long-term perspective. You have the likes of HDFC, Maruti, State Bank of India, which did really good, IndusInd Bank, and then Wipro also alongside Infosys gave a big move. So I sense that the IT will participate from here on, which will be a good sign for the overall market. So Hero MotoCo, again, continuing from the move that we saw in yesterday's trade, This stock is a little stretched on the upside when I talk in terms of the underlying momentum. The weekly chart so far has been of great around 8.5%. Going back to those highs of 3350, I think this is where it will take some time and slow down. It should, because if it does and if it does not give away more on the downside, we can have a big breakout. So overall, it's been much more healthier in terms of participation coming in into this trade. Yes Bank down 6%, Reliance flat. TCS did not play with the rest of the IT pack in today's trade. Sun Pharma continues to weaken further. ITC, not a very encouraging chart because it has the potential of going further down, and a break of the current lows can make the stock go back all the way down to the 250 mark. Keep a close watch on that. Tata Steel also giving off most of the gains that it saw in yesterday's trade. UPL, now this stock had come multiple times on my radar in today's trade. Now there's nothing problematic on the weekly chart, so the intermediate trend is fine. I'm more concerned about the daily breakout which I saw yesterday. So for me, 730 is an important support for the stock, and all that I need to see for further upsides to continue is a break above that 780, 790 mark. If 750 holds on the downside and if I get a swing setup, then a break above 780, 790 will mean further upsides for UPL. Keeping in mind that the intermediate and the medium term charts are still strong, I'm quite biased on the upside. However, if 730 goes, I think this stock will face a bit of selling on the downside. If I can pull the indices, I'm not too sure it will come. I can do that with the help of the report designer here. If you're new to my videos, I essentially use the Iris Plus software from the Spider software. So I'm just essentially drawing a rate of change of 1 day. I just want to check which are the sectors, all indices, and I'll quickly run. And I'm doing this just to check which are the indices which fared really well. We've got the realty index, which was up around 1.2%. Media does not add a lot of weightage. MNC, small and mid caps continue. Auto, of course, we saw some big moves coming in from Maruti, as well as Hero MotoCorp did really well, as we discussed some time back. Metals, we saw Tata Steel coming off. Engineering, Pharma, Sun Pharma, and the others, Dr. Reddy was also down. So yes, essentially the movement stays, on the upside. What we can see is the gainers are the sectors or the stocks which are participating in this 3-day bounce back are from your small and mid cap space. The quality of sectors are not that great. We discussed this in yesterday's video. We don't want to repeat that. Keep a close watch. Let's talk actionable. 10,800 on the downside, worth going short for at least 100 points. 10,900 is the trigger for a breakout on the upside. Continue to stay cautiously bullish as well as cautiously bearish. We maintain a neutral view on the overall market. The volatility had been sharp, both the sides. I think it's time that we settle down. When I say we, I think this is the time that prices will settle down for the next trendy move, either on the upside or on the down. Till then, everyone, trade well, trade wise. Thank you.